27 station Parramatta, one of the busiest stations in New South Wales. Parramatta Fire Station, as you'll see the trucks that are riding behind us from one of the many calls, attends over 2,500 calls a year and is serviced by 40 firefighters with 2 trucks or 2 appliances. Here's their main truck, as you can see, which is coming in. And they've also got an aerial or ladder truck, which is a 37 metre Bronto, which is able to go 37 metres in the air and also able to perform rescues over 5 metres below ground level. I'm going to pass you over now to qualified firefighter Tom Redaway, who will explain the demonstration we're about to give you, which is a simulated rescue of a construction site worker in the adjoining construction site.
Good morning. Thank you, sir. I'm firefighter Redaway here at 27 Station Parramatta. We're going to have the boys on the 37 metre ladder platform do a simulated drill as if we're going to extricate a patient from a building site. They're going to bring the cage down over the other side of the fence of an adjoining property. We have the capability to put in a Stokes litter and a rescue. Rescue moves to take patients either off balconies from high-rise or, like Mr. Resident said, from down 5 metres below ground in something like a deep excavation or something similar. So the boys are just getting set up now, and we'll watch them do some of their best work. Are you? Hey?
So while we're waiting, how many firefighters are at the station?
So at this station, we've got we have three firefighters and the station officer on the pump here, pump 27, and then we'll have two firefighters manning the ladder platform. We also have our inspector here, who's the duty commander for Metro West 2.
Cool, and what kind of shifts do you guys do?
So we work a 24-hour roster system. We might just come in a little bit because that boom game might hit someone in the head of H&S and all. Yeah, we do 2 24-hour shifts. We're at the station, the station's manned 24/7, I should say, and we have our beds and everything here. And if the bells go, we get up and we attend our incidents.
Yeah, awesome. So what's one thing that you wish the community knew about fire and rescue?
One thing that the community knew about fire and rescue.
Pressure's on.
I think we do a pretty good job at fire and rescue and having our presence known. We try and get out and do a lot of pre-ed sort of stuff with our primary schools and our kindergartens to try and get out the safe fire message within the community from a very young age. We try and have a fairly visible presence around our local community by doing hydrant inspections where we'll have firefighters going down residential streets, checking water supplies in case there was any incident within that residential sector. We'll mark it off on a map that all the shifts here mark off their little areas to make sure that all the firefighting systems on high rises and local residential areas are operating efficiently.
Yeah, awesome. So you do more than just fight fires.
We do much more than just fight fires. We attend multiple fire alarms. In Parramatta being a heavily built up CBD area, we'll do a lot of automatic fire alarm work. We have got some major arterial roads, James Bruce Drive and the M4 in our station area. The pumping appliance just got back from a rescue incident. They had to take the side of the car and extricate a patient up on Old Windsor Road. So that keeps us very busy. We'll
do you get many fire alarm calls?
Yes, we do. We get plenty of fire alarm calls. It'll be rare here in Parramatta that we don't at least see 3 or 4 automatic fire alarms a day. It shows that the fire protection systems getting put in place and doing their job. 9 times out of 10, there won't be any sort of emergency, but we like the community to know that if there is, we'll be there to help.
Awesome. So can you explain to us what's happening behind you at the moment?
So at the moment we have senior firefighter Daniel Rizzo. He's in the cage. We've simulated a rescue out of a building site. We've attached the soap splitter into the cage. There's a few hooks which we'll show you when the cage comes down to hold the patient in place. Just to show you a little bit of the capability of the ladder platform. I'm just going to take it up and over the top of our hose hooks here, and then come and bring the cage down here, simulating a handover to your ambulance.
So Tanya wants to know who's in the cage.
We have our senior firefighter on shift, Daniel Rizzo.
Can you tell us how high it goes?
So it's a 37-metre ladder platform. So it will reach 37 metres, roughly the 12th storey of a high-rise apartment building.
And what's the weight capacity in the cage?
So you can take up to 4 people inside the cage at any one time. So if we're assisting ambulance or another agency, we may well have a firefighter, the person being rescued or extricated, and an ambulance officer or 2. That will be the cage's limit.
Can you tell us, can you fight fires from the cage?
We can indeed. You may well see one of Fire and Rescue's ladder platform appliances at larger structure fire incidents at factories or industrial complexes. We have a 70 millimetre and 30 millimetre.
Do you do drills like this regularly?
A general day here at the fire station will encompass checking of equipment, general cleaning duties at the station, and then at least 1, if not 2 drills over a 24-hour shift.
Okay.
What time do you start your shift?
What time do you guys start your shift?
So the start of shift time is 8 a.m. From 8 a.m. you'll find firefighters doing the handover with the off-coming shift. Any issues that need to be addressed for that following day will be relayed to the oncoming shift. Ourselves, D platoon, relieved A platoon this morning. We'll then go about our morning by cleaning out the station, getting prepared for the day, making sure all the equipment's working correctly, and then go into some form of skills maintenance drills. So you can see Daniel now. He's just bringing the cage down. We'll simulating our rescue from the neighbouring building site.
That's a really big nozzle there, Tom. Can you tell me how much water does a truck hold?
The ladder platform holds 0 litres of water. It requires one of many firefighting appliances which has a 2,000 litre tank capacity to pump into the Bronto, and then they'll draw water from either a hydrant or some form of static water supply to then feed the Bronto with its water.
What would you say the biggest cause of fires in Parramatta is?
The biggest cause of fires in Parramatta can be a range of things. You find in the winter months, quite a lot of the time, heaters can be the start of a fire. So we like to tell everyone to keep 1 metre from their heater. That's all your clothing and couches and etc. To keep that at a minimum of 1 metre away from your heater. Electric blankets, don't leave them on at night, please. Like it can be a very high risk of not only electrocution but also a fire. And then also cooking fires. Keep looking when cooking. Don't leave your stove unattended. But just know that if you do, get outside, call 000, and we'll be there to help you soon.
Awesome. Can you show us what you got over here?
So this is the cage of the 37 metre ladder platform. as you can see, we've simulated having to do a rescue, so we'll leave it to your imagination, but you can imagine we have an injured construction worker from the building site next door. Generally the ambulance officers that are on scene would have been with him in the building site. They would have tended to do his initial first aid and assessment. We can then connect this, which is the Stokes litter, the patient will be packed inside of. We have 2 pins in the cage there to locate the Stokes litter in place. This bar here actually brings this ledge down, so this is the ladder platform's rescue ledge. We then connect the patient in. We may have an ambulance officer with the firefighter, or 2 ambulance officers with a firefighter, and then we'll bring them back down to a safe location at the front of the site to then be transported to hospital.
Can you give us a bit of a walk around the cage here?
We can give you a little bit of a walk around the cage here. So, like we talked about before, we have our rescue ledge. We have some lighting to light up any sort of form of incident that we may be attending. All the controls and everything, if you follow me around this way, this is what the firefighters will be operating to make the booms go up, down, in, out, left, right, do all their capabilities. We have a little remote control here, which if you follow me around to the other side of the cage, is where the business happens. We have our monitor here. You'll quite often see it larger structure fires, factory fires. That's what we'll be applying water or foam to extinguish a fire.
Do you ever have fireys climbing the ladder?
We try to avoid having to do that. If need be, we fold out the edges of this ladder bank here, and you can make your way back down to the ground from the cage should there be any form of malfunction on the machine. But yeah, we try and avoid having to do so.
What happens if your truck runs out of petrol while you're up in the air?
Well, we like to think that we're very prepared for what we do, and that won't happen. In my time here at 27, that has not yet happened, and I'll do my best to make sure that never does happen.
And can all fireys use the Bronto?
All fireys cannot use the Bronto. You have to do a specialised training course through our training academy to give you your safe work licence to operate the 37. If you want to keep following me around, we'll do a bit of a walk around of the ladder platform truck.
Can you show us how the Bronto's stabilised as well?
Follow me. So you can see here when the firefighters set up the Bronto, we have four outriggers down onto bearing plates. We need to do this to, as you can see, we elevate the truck off the ground, takes any pressure off any of the suspension, and allows you to safely and effectively operate all the booms. If you follow me around this way, this will be the initial point of call for the motor driver of the ladder platform. This is where the operator will set up the LP, get it ready for use by the firefighter in the cage.
How many firefighters does it take to operate the Bronto at one time?
We have two firefighters that will be rostered onto the ladder platform duties. One during an incident will always be sat in what we call the pulpit here. And then the other firefighter will be operating the cage to either be doing the rescue or applying water to the fire. It can also be used just as an elevated platform at bigger incidents to give some of the incident controllers a good idea of what's happening on the ground, an elevated bird's eye view. We can use it to take equipment from the ground up to the fire floor of a high-rise incident to be faster and more efficient.
Does this sort of vehicle do any ambulance work?
We quite often do work with other agencies. This, as the simulated drill we did for you guys this morning, we quite often will be asked to assist ambulance to remove a patient from a precarious position safely.
Do you have a few firefighters who are trained to do hazmat jobs?
We all have minimum training to be able to assist in any sort of hazmat, but we do have specialist stations that their primary response is for hazmat. Our local one is Chester Hill.
Could you explain to us what those cylinders are for up there?
Sure. So those cylinders there will provide clean air to breathe for the firefighter that is in the cage. They will take a mask up with them and attach to the airlines so that they can breathe clean air in an unclean environment.
So could you explain to us again where the patient goes when you extract them from a building?
So the patient generally will the location where the patient will be. There may well be some of our rescue qualified personnel or ambulance or both. They will stabilise the patient and package them into the Stokes litter, which then, as we looked at before, attaches into the front of the cage, and then we will take them safely to the ground.
How long do the oxygen bottles last?
It varies depending on how much air is within them, but we have gauges so we can monitor the air. Especially on this appliance, you can see that there's 4, so two are separated, so they're 2 separate systems. So when one starts to run low, we can change over, and then the firefighter that will be sitting in the pulpit will then replace the two cylinders that are coming close to empty, therefore eliminating the firefighter in the cage ever running out of clean air.
So once you rescue someone, do you take them to hospital?
We don't. No, we will take them down to a safe location where the ambulance officers will hopefully be, if not already there, ready and waiting to transport them to the nearest hospital.
How many Brontos service the Sydney area?
We have a range of aerial appliances throughout the GSA and of varying heights. There's the three big ones would be at Crow's Nest, here at Parramatta, and another one at City of Sydney. We then have some smaller ones at Glebe, Darlinghurst, and Hurstville.
Could you introduce us to your crew?
Sure, we can do that. So please come over here and meet the crew here at 27 Parramatta. I'll let everyone introduce themselves.
Hey guys, I'm firefighter Reese Calais, senior firefighter Sean Gerber,
Senior firefighter Daniel Izzo.
firefighter Luke DeLander,
Station Officer Sean Nugent.
Qualified firefighter Hannah Minogue.
Hello, I'm Jeremy.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you joining us today. Just to leave, we might finish off with a parting note from Station Officer Sean Nugent here today, who was going to give you a welcome note as well, but they're out on a call. I'll pass you over to Sean. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you join us for the remainder of the 4 days of Open Day week with us every day this week at 11 o'clock, and also for our other exciting capability online videos in the morning. I'll pass you over to Sean.
Thanks everybody for joining us at the Parramatta Fire Station Virtual Open Day. Hope you enjoyed Tom's presentation on the operations of the Bronto. I'd just like to finish by saying, as we move into the cooler months, to make sure that everybody checks to see that they have a working smoke alarm, and check that battery, every month or two to make sure your smoke alarm works. Thanks very much.